What? I got this from working the streets. Would you fall for this scam? 3 cards, 2 jokers, and a queen. Now I want you to keep track, of course, of the queen. I'll turn the 2 jokers face down and watch where the queen goes. Nothing at stake. I'm just gonna move the queen very slowly just to make sure you understand the concept of this game, all right? Where is the queen? If you guess this card over here, let's make sure and validate. Of course, that's not the queen, and the card you selected is the queen. Last card remaining is the joker. Not bad. Let's make this a bit more difficult, though. Let's put something at stake. Let's just say we put a little bit of money at stake. Now, where's the queen? All right, we're going to start with the queen right over here. Watch as carefully as you can. I'll speed things up just a small amount. And there we go. Where is the queen? If you guess this card over here, okay, let's validate. Make sure it's not this one. And of course, the card you selected is the queen. All right, all right. You're pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. I was going a bit easy on you. That's why you're able to get the cards every single time. But let's up the stakes. Let's go for all the marbles. And I'm not going to be holding back. So make sure you watch where the queen goes. Here we go. This is probably as fast as I can do it without losing my hands. And we'll stop right here. All right. Last time. Where is the queen? If you guess the center card, let's take a look. Validate again. That's not your queen. And of course, this card. Oh, that's not the queen either. That means the card left in my hand was the queen. Did I get you? For any party that you go to, if there's someone you don't like there, here's how you win all their money. Don't actually do this. I don't condone this type of behavior. I just wink sometimes. It's a problem. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. Today, I'll be teaching you the Mexican 3-card Monte from Expert at the Card Table. Full confession, I hadn't heard of this trick till about a little over a month ago, and my execution is nowhere near perfect, but I definitely recommend you to learn this trick because it's so much fun. So now before we dive right into the tutorial, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and get ready to fool all your friends. Now grab your favorite deck, and let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the tutorial. Some additional info I'd like to share with you. I'd probably rank this at the intermediate level, just because it's very similar to the 3-card Monte. There's still a pattern that you need to build, which could be a bit difficult if you're just getting into card magic. And of course, having technique with the pattern or with the whole storyline behind how everything's being done could be a bit more difficult. So that's why I rank this at the intermediate level. Why is it called the Mexican 3-card Monte? I don't know. Maybe because they do it in Mexico, and I don't know. It's that racist. Diving right in, I'd recommend using a borderless deck of playing cards. And you might be asking why, because one, I use this for pretty much all the types of situations where I do card mechanic or cheating type stuff. Not that I cheat ever in my life, I've never done that. Cheating demonstration type stuff, just because it's very difficult to pick up moves. For example, if I was doing a second deal, right? And I'm doing this, you can't really see that I'm dealing the second card. It just looks like I'm dealing off the top card where I've dealt out random cards from, the second position of the deck. So borderless playing cards, I recommend using those. They're cheap and I fairly accessible. Now, starting off, you need 3 playing cards. I recommend using the 2 jokers and a queen, but of course you can use any 2 cards that are similar and then 1 card that is differentiated between the 2 of them. Now, like I've been saying this whole time, the 3-card Monte is built on 2 things. The pattern, which is the storyline, how you're carrying the spectator through the whole process, and 2 is the technique, the last switch out move that you're doing when you're, changing things up and scamming them for you're not scamming, tricking them willingly for, whatever. So I'll spend a little bit of time on the pattern and then most of the time on the technique. Of course, for the pattern, you have, those 3 cards, make them follow the queen, and you make them win the first 2 times, put a lot of money in or bet a lot at the end. And then of course you do the switch last second to show, oh, wait, you messed up. That was never the queen. You actually picked a joker. So that of course gets them every time. I love seeing those reactions, love collecting happiness from their faces. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, here we go. So the technique now. The technique behind this whole thing is based on this simple concept of flipping a card over, right? So you flip a card over like this, and that's, if you saw my performance, that's really what I focused on when I was initially showing the cards, when I was turning the cards. Anytime I turned them face up or face down, I was always coming here, turning them over like this, all right? So that's something you have to get very comfortable with. You have to figure out what natural motion looks best to you. And then for the technique that we're using, or the move that we're using to switch these 2 cards, that move you're gonna have to make look very similar to this technique, all right? So I'll cover the technique first, and then maybe we can do some, maybe I can give you some exercises on how you can make it look as natural as possible. And of course, stick to what is most natural to you. I think one of the biggest things I learned from my favorite card mechanic, Richard Turner, he's phenomenal, by the way, if you haven't seen him, is have a naturalness with your moves, right? So if you're dealing playing cards, right? Let's just say I was doing a second deal and I'm dealing off this card, and my second deal is like, I don't know, my second deal is like this, and my normal deal is like this, right? It's gonna be weird if I second deal, normal deal, second deal, normal deal. That would just look very strange. So you wanna make sure all the moves, of course that's more exaggerated, but you just wanna make sure all the moves look as close to natural as possible and also very similar. So getting right into it, I know I talked your head off, but getting right into it, we have these 3 cards. And the move you're practicing is flipping over the cards like this. So that's the first thing you're gonna practice, just flipping over the cards. Very naturally. Talking about the grip real quick, maybe I should have covered that first. The grip looks like this. We have, let's just say you're using the queen to flip the cards over. Index finger is gonna be here on the bottom. The middle finger is gonna be right underneath the index finger, and your thumb is gonna be on the opposite side of the index finger. Index finger in the back, thumb on the front, middle finger right below it. So this is the grip you're gonna be using to flip these cards over. Now, if this doesn't feel natural to you, you can use another grip, but of course you wanna make sure you practice everything the exact same way. So now that you're in your grip, now you can practice flipping these cards up and down, right? Practice up and down all day long. Once you're ready to make the change of the card, let's say we have the queen here. The queen is here face down, and you have a face down joker in your hand. You're in the correct grip. What you're gonna do is as you go in here, you're gonna be swapping these cards. Normally the motion would look like this. You're coming here, turning the card over, coming here, turning the card over. That's the normal motion. For the motion of the change, you come underneath, your index finger is gonna slide the card forward as your middle finger makes contact with the bottom of the other card, the bottom corner of the other card. Hopefully you can see that here. It's gonna make contact like this as you're scooping underneath the card. I wanna make sure I get this properly on camera. As you're scooping underneath the other card, the middle finger makes contact down here and the index finger's up here, and the thumb is now gonna grab the card that is above it, right? So we're here, normally it comes like this and we turn over. But now what we're gonna do, oh, and one other thing, you wanna make sure as you're going in, this card is not square like this, but shifted upward. So that gives room for the middle finger to grab the card that's above it here, the card that you're flipping over. So you come here, grab, switch now, your thumb and middle finger are grabbing the card that's on top, the card that you're switching to. You have this card grabbed, and now what you're gonna do is as you lift up, this card is gonna kind of drop down like this. So you're coming in like this. As you lift up, you're gonna flip over the bottom card. It's gonna be pivoting about your index finger here. So you lift up and turn that card over. It's a bit hard to see from this view. Lift up, here we go one more time. Lift up and you're turning that card over. It's very difficult to do when let me try to readjust. So you come underneath, swap the cards that you're gripping, and turn over the card that's underneath just like this, right? One more time, that's a normal flip right there. And now the switched flip is you coming underneath like this, turning that card over, right? One more time, coming underneath, turning that card over. And that's gonna take a lot of practice. One thing I found out is if your hands are sweaty, that makes this a bit more difficult to do, but that's really what you're gonna need to practice. And I think the best way to practice that is to go back and forth. So you come in, you do the swap. So this is the joker, this is the queen. You come in, you do the swap, there's the queen. Now you do a normal one, so you turn that card back down. You come in, do the swap, switches to the joker, turn it back down. Come in, do the swap, switches to the queen, turn it back down. And this is what you're gonna be practicing. This way you can really practice this move being very consistent, all right? That's gonna be vital. This is what I practiced 10, 15 minutes every single day, whether it was, while I'm watching TV, while I'm watching a YouTube video, or I'm just sitting around and waiting for life to happen. Let's talk about the pattern now along with the technique. So I like to start with all the cards being face up. Then I grab the queen. And I say, here we have a queen and 2 jokers. I want you to follow the queen. So now you're gonna do a normal flip over of these cards, normal flip, and you say, I want you to follow the queen. Turn this queen face down. And again, you're the same motion with everything. You're not gonna turn this queen face down like this or like this. You wanna make sure everything's consistent. So these cards were turned face down like this. Your queen's also going to be turned face down like this. Keep it as consistent as possible. So now you say follow the queen. Make things very easy for yourself, or at least this is what I do, is I just make sure the queen ends up on the right hand side. So I'm like, all right, let's just make it nice and easy. I'll go slow. And where do you think your card is, right? So here I end up with the queen here. They say here. Now I grab the card all the way to the left. I just grab any of the other 2 cards. grab the card all the way onto the left, and I say, I want to validate you selected the right card. So let's look at the other card first. Do a normal flip, that's the Joker. Coming here, do a normal flip, that's the Queen, all right? Then I flip this card over and say that's the other Joker. So you did it right. Let's step it up a notch. Again, I grab the Queen, do those card flips down, right? This instills in their mind that that's how you flip cards. That's just how it's always done. That's what you're going to be doing. And that again sells the effect at the end a lot more. So here we have the Queen, follow it again. Let's up the ante this time. Let's add a bit more risk, a bit more money or happiness on the line. There we go, sorry about that. And now where's the Queen? I always end up with the Queen on the left-hand side the second time, just makes life, again, easier. So they got, again, they say this one, you say, all right, let's take a look. Grab the card all the way to the right, flip over the middle card. There we go, validate, that's not your card. Flip over this card, that's not your card. Oh, that's sorry, that is your card. You did a great job. And that's the Joker. Now, this is where it gets a lot more fun. Grab the Queen for the one final time. Let's say let's up the ante. Let's do this for all the marbles. Again, follow the Queen. Turn that face down. And now you can really speed things up. I like to end with the Queen in the center. So I just go ahead and I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, I can't juggle playing cards. There we go. We're going to end up with the Queen in the center. Just validate Queen is in the center. And I ask them, where do you think the card is? They're going to say, of course, center. Say, okay, let's validate. Turn this card face up like this. And now as you're going here, this is where you do the switch. Show, oh, that is the Joker. And the card left in my hand is the Queen. Hand over the money, punk. And that is the Mexican 3-card Monte. For some more tricks that you can do at parties, click on this video right over here. They are some of my go-to easy effects. As always, a huge shout out to all my Patreon producers. We have a new member this week, Frank Gallo. Welcome, my friend. It's great to have you. And of course, thank you, love you, see you soon.